All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back. We're going to be doing a walkthrough solve with 7x7 using Yao. So I know a lot of people don't like using Yao. They prefer free slice or redux, but I recently switched to it. I got my first ever sub 2 and I broke the Canadian national record with it as well. So I'm just going to do a quick walkthrough, show you guys a couple tricks and things that might make it a bit easier for you. You might find other possibilities that are easier for you, but I'm just going to show you guys what works for me. So first thing, I always start with either white or yellow centers. So these two are always going to be my first two centers. Whichever one's going to be the first one depends on what the case is. Here it's going to be yellow just because I can see this 1x3. I have this piece right here which could be easily insertable into here, and I could preserve this whole bar as well. So I can see this bar. We're just going to do a U2 insert. It moves this bar out of the way, and then we're just going to finish this bar up right here. And as you can see, the way that I'm tilting the cube a tiny bit while I'm doing these moves is so I can get a quick peek on the sides. So sometimes I'll look here or I'll do a little glance here. And sometimes I'll usually just do both. And as you can see, I see this little corner piece right here, just so I can insert it with the bar, then bring it here. And then I can already see that I have two pieces right here that I can insert. All I'm going to need is this piece right here and the center for the bar. So as I was looking, I remember I didn't find any here, except I could use this right here, and I didn't see any of the center pieces here. So the only two possibilities are in the back or on the white. So we just found some right here. We're just gonna do it and then insert it. And then I try to remove as many pieces as I can with time from the top layer, just so it makes it easier. And we're just gonna build a regular outer bar with it, and then you just got to find the last corner piece. This way you only have one piece up here, and it's just easily removable as you're connecting with something else. So this way I don't have to do a full rotation like this, whereas I can just keep it straight, and it makes it a lot easier. So now that we have the center done, we're gonna move on to white. And as I like to do is always just start with the middle bar, just because it's a bit of a hassle to do it either as a second, third, fourth, fifth bar. So unless you have a really good case, then I'd always start with middle bar. You already see a piece here where you can just insert the outer piece, insert that, and then we can use this. So now this specific case I love, because when you see these 1x2s and these 2x2s, they're very easily connectable. So you can see things like this, and then you can build certain 2x2s. So for example, here's a 2x2, a 2x2, and a 1x2. So if you can see something like this, they're very interchangeable, and you can make a quick 2x5 bar and just insert it really quick. And as well, if I have a piece up here and I know I'm going to forget about it, I like to just get rid of it and just put it into the bar itself. That way I don't have to look back here. And then I just finish up this last bar. And I know that the last bar is just going to be an outer one, so I can just finish it really quick. And then last piece right here. And then as I'm doing these moves, I'm looking ahead for my first cross edge. So you can see a couple. We got white, orange. You got white, red. In this case scenario, I probably would have done white, orange, just because I can insert the two outer. And I remember seeing this piece. And then as I did that L prime, I saw this. So I can insert this. Now I'm just going to look around. Found my last white and orange piece right here. Insert it. And then it doesn't really matter which orientation it goes. The only thing that would matter is depending on what pieces are here and what pieces are here. So you can align them so they're proper. Here you can see white, green, white, green. They're not properly put in, but you just quick U2 and you should be good. And then I have these two white and green. We're just going to attach them together. So as well, I sometimes like to build two bars at the same time and just preserve one while I'm building the other. So here I did a 1x3 for red. Finish green. Don't forget orientation. Green will always be to the left of orange. It might be mirrored, but I don't think it is. And I'm going to do red because it was the easier one. So now some people stop here and then they start doing centers and they do the last cross edge at the very end. for me, I like to do my last cross edge right now and then just preserve it while doing centers, just so I don't have to have that pause in between centers and then rebuilding edges. So I go from first two centers, all cross edges, centers, then edge pairing instead of cross edges, centers, cross edges, edges. So that's just my personal preference. And then we're just going to continue building the first middle bar, just green. We have this 1x4. We can just use this corner piece right here. So don't forget, always keep the blue in your mind so you don't break it. Then we're just going to build the next outer layer. And now here's kind of cool. I like these slice moves just because they're pretty quick. You can build the last couple centers. The last couple bars for the center. And then from here, once you're done your first center, this cross edge, as long as you keep it aligned with it, then it should stay preserved no matter what. You can test it around, see what you like, what you find more comfortable. And then once you're down to the last three edges, you're going to get some pretty easy bars here and there. Sometimes you'll have almost a whole color completed just after the first center. So as always, we're just going to start building bars. I recommend building the inner bars first, but I've been getting a lot of easy outer bars. So I'm just going to be doing that. And then we're just going to be connecting a bunch of these. Insert. And then here, just take it out. Put it back in. And then here's a pretty simple, just put it up, bring it to the side. You have the corner piece right here. Bring it down, insert. So now what I can see here is this little 2x3. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a 3x5 instantly. So using this 1x2, I'm going to insert it here. So now I have a 2x4. This long bar, I'm going to insert here. So now I just need to add these two little pieces. And I have this 1x3 already. And in last two centers, you'll get a lot of cases that are very similar where you can build 3x5s very quickly. And it saves a lot of time instead of going one bar at a time. And then here, another case is that if you have two edges that are in the same bar, try to always replace it with something else that's singular. That way, when you have it done, and you want to insert it, you only have to do one commutator. And honestly, if it's a centerpiece and you don't like doing commutators, you could just put them adjacent and then do a M move U2 M and then just insert. So it's a bunch of little tricks to either make your life easier or maybe just a bit more simple. And then now edges are pretty forward. You just start building them whatever you see. But as always, look ahead is the most important part. So you always want to be seeing what bar you want to build next or what you can see. So sometimes I build 2 bars at a time, kind of like when I do cross edges. And I'm doing this just through the camera, so it's going to be a bit harder for me. But as you guys can see, it's just building edges. This gets better with time. But some easy tips is that if you have one of your edges, one of your full edges done, you can insert it with your F2L pair. So if you're doing 7x7, I'm assuming you already know F2L. You can just insert it because you want to take out that edge anyway. So might as well build an F2L pair at the same time. So that I only had that one cross edge. I guess the other ones were yellow. That's fine, honestly. So now we're going to be wanting to put this 1x2 with this other 1x2. But while I'm inserting it, I can see that this is going to be red and yellow. So I'm going to try to insert this. And the piece I'm going to be bringing down is in correlation with these two. So I just have this center block. This way I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Same thing here. We're going to have yellow and red. And this is blue and green. Orange and blue. So we're going to put in correlation with that. And then here we can do something. We're just going to do the red and yellow. Just do the last piece. This is red and blue. And then this is just the last piece. And now we're going to be down to the last 2 edges. Now you could be stuck with a lot of different cases for this. Luckily for 7x7, the most that you can get is technically 2 parities, but you can skip it. So for example, this case, I like to do the inner layer parity just because it saves me a little bit more time. But obviously there's that one case. This is your second case. And then the last case would be the further out pieces. And it would be this one. So parity's parity, you can't really get rid of it unless you have the algorithms memorized in the last 2 edges to avoid it. Personally, I don't avoid it just because I don't like to think while I solve. I like to just keep on doing it and just try to spam TPS essentially. So it's more of like a Max Park style where you just look, try to move as fast as possible. And that's essentially it for 7x7. If you guys have any questions, I will be trying to make another one where I'm going to be focusing on different tips throughout the solve on not only Yao but also free slice, because I just recently switched, so I'm still pretty good at both. I will be also doing a pros and con video for both free slice and Yao and explain whether you guys should stay with Yao, stick to free slice, and things like that. So stay tuned. That is all for this walkthrough solve. I will be doing another one on 6x6 and 5x5, so stay tuned for that as well. Thank you for watching, guys, and hopefully you guys subscribe and like the video.